Hey, good morning and welcome to another Telling It Like It Is. My name is Jade Alberts, the founder of Peer Guidance. We listen, guide, and connect small businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, and help them grow and exit their businesses. Sharing knowledge and stories is why I started Facebook Live. It is live. If you have any questions or comments, throw them out there. If you're watching this after the fact, still put them out there and we will answer them. I would like to thank Bessie for their sponsorship. They sell 100% grass-finished Alberta beef, naturally raised chicken, and sashimi grade seafood. It's vacuum sealed for your convenience. Visit their website. You can click on it right in the comments section. Today's guest, I am extremely excited about. She's taken time to come on my little show because she's usually on tons and tons and tons of Fox and NBC and ABC. Chala, thank you for joining me. How are you today?
I'm good. It's so cute for you to call your show a little show. And in the meantime, you're telling me you have like over 7 to 12, did you say, 1,000 views? I mean, I would like that for myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm actually, it started off as a little pet project and we just passed the 1,000,000 view mark here a couple months ago. So I was pretty happy about that. It's fun, it's great. And as I say, it's nothing about me. It's a great quality guest like yourself that people are interested in. So thank you for coming on today.
I hope you popped a champagne or something.
Actually, I didn't. That made me sad. I should have done that. I should have filmed it. I should have done that.
Never too late. Never too late.
Very, very true. I always like talking about how we connected because you're in Toronto. Obviously, I'm in Calgary, and I'm quite active on Startup Canada. And Kara Morgan introduced us. She has been on this show a few years ago. So thank you, Kara, for introducing us. Obviously, I came on your show. We talked about my elevator pitch and how it can help my business. And now you're here to share that with all of our watchers.
Yeah.
So
it was fun. You were a fun guest. You don't take anything to heart. Thank God. But my podcast, as you know, is only about like the first portion, at least, that what we used to do in the old days. Now we've added stuff to it, but in the old days when you were on it, it was just people coming on doing their elevator pitch and me fixing it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are podcast crazy, right? They'll come and be a guest and they've never even seen a single episode. So I guess some of them who wanted to become a guest would look at it and see what you did and what I did, and not just you but all the other ones, and they'd be like, I no longer want to come as a guest because like they don't want to be polished, right? They don't want their elevator pitch to be polished. And I was like, okay then, but it's hilarious. So you're a very gracious guest.
Well, I think everybody should actually come on and do that because I mean, I love the process, right? You made me think about the hard questions and what we were doing and what we were talking about and what kind of the goals were, which I thought was, thinking of stuff that I might not have saw. So it was a really good learning experience, and then I highly recommend everybody that needs to go through that can contact you because I think it's so important, obviously, and which is why we'll talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, an elevator pitch, and we haven't gotten into the guts of it, but I'm having a workshop soon as I continually to have them. And then I'm connecting with people who have signed up for 5 minutes every day, just on a connection call. And I'm asking them, what is it that you do? And it is 100% how they describe themselves is a reflection of their business strategy and whether it's working or not. I can tell right away. And that's what the whole polish is to make suggestions around, have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? And what about this? And what is the problem? And all that. So yeah, to your point, it is so important that it's like like this huge shining bright light into their business of whether it's working or not, in my opinion, based on what I hear, because that's all I hear all day, every day, right?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So why is an elevator pitch so important?
Because when you tell me what you do for a living, you're telling me, hopefully, who you help and what you do, right? And most of the time, like this poor woman that I talked to just before you, it's vague. It's too big. I help parents. So many people who are doing the same thing and they're so vague. it doesn't work. And what ends up what vague equals is broke. Because you can't, 86% of buyers can't tell the difference between one health coach and another.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. So should it be, you know, short, sweet, tight? I mean, when you say vague, like how to the point should it be? Is it one sentence, two sentences?
Yeah, you know what? Here's another quote is, the shorter it takes to describe what you do, the more money you make. So if you can get it out in 30 seconds, it's great. But it's not about so much the length, although that's a component. It's more about the strategy of how you go about deciding who you help and what you help them with. And if the strategy is guesswork, you're dead in the water. You could be wrong or you could be right. But if it's based on market research, like what the horse's mouth is telling you, this is my problem, and I'm bleeding, actively looking right now, I'm Googling for you, right?
Yeah.
If you can find that in the market that you can help with, because you can't help everything, then that's the moneymaker.
So you brought up an interesting point there. Obviously, everybody is so worried about Google and SEO and all that type of stuff. And if you're using your elevator pitch on not only to talk to somebody in person, but on your marketing, on any of your ads or that type of thing, should those words obviously be in your Google SEO as well?
100%. In fact, I'll tell you the story of one client. She hadn't touched her website in 30 years. I mean, did they have websites 30 years ago, Jade? You probably don't even know, because you were probably like in your diapers. But if you think about it, she hasn't, and she still ranks number one in all the searches. She hasn't added anything or changed anything. And that's like almost impossible. And the reason for that is her URL are the top of mind keywords for what she does. And it's called Stenographers Toronto. Ta-da! That's it. Yeah. And with another client, we did the whole process of asking the market, well, what are the words that you are actually, coming up with in your mind to Google around this problem? And what he did is, do you know any like soup lady and cookie guy and the people who make small food manufacturing, like their biggest problem is they can't get listed. They can't get distribution in like grocery stores and Loblaws or whatever you guys call them in your Sobeys. They can't get distribution. So what his URL is fooddistributionguy.com. So he never, ever, ever had to do any SEO. He didn't have to pay for it because it was the number one thing people would Google. And we found that out because we asked them. We asked the horse's mouth. We didn't have to do sophisticated analysis. We just asked them.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and he keeps getting clients from his SEO, and he doesn't pay for SEO.
Well, that's a good story. I mean, you always want to, we talk about that sometimes with clients, like how the simpler, the better it is, right? Like right to the point. It doesn't have to be anything like big, and just here you go. Like simple words that people you think are going to Google, and even it even comes down to the name of your company. If it's something that's, if you're going to do a funky name and change a couple letters around, Google's going to, set it back to the original spelling, and you're going to get lost.
Mm. And, I'm so against, letters or acronyms or inside jokes. Like this fella, the food distribution guy, the name of his company was GR Marketing Strategist. And it was some sort of inside joke with his dad because it was his dad's initials or something. And his dad is dead. So it was very sentimental to him. Yeah. But it meant nothing to anybody. GR Marketing, like it meant nothing. So when we changed it to what people are actually bleeding, looking, hurting for and searching for, that's when his business shot up. And he got from 0, he went to 7 new clients of multiple 5 figures. And he asked his girlfriend to marry him at the age of 61 because he got so much success, which I take the credit for.
Well, that's good. I like that. So, I mean, you've been an award-winning marketer with Pepsi, Pizza Hut, Frito-Lay. I mean, obviously, and you've been on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox as a speaker, and you've and also spoken international conferences all over the world. But when it comes down to a multinational business and a small business, what's the difference when it comes to creating and using an elevator pitch?
There's no difference, because in the big companies, we spend millions of dollars to just go and ask the market. And that's what I teach. I've created a smaller version of that. And if you're not figuring out who you should target, what you should say in your elevator pitch, and what problem you solve, if you're not figuring out your business strategy by asking the market, just like the big guys, you're leaving money on the table. You're probably not getting as many leads as you should. Even if you do get the leads, you're probably losing them because you're saying the wrong things. And you're constantly in this guessing loop of not having enough leads in the pipeline and not being able to close the leads that you have. Yeah. So it's all about messaging, Jade. It doesn't matter how big you are or how small you are. It's all about your message.
No, I 100% agree. I mean, it's got to be consistent across the board. It doesn't have to be unique, as we mentioned before. It just has to be to the point, honest, and you're able to get after it with your clients. Again, I'm talking with Chala Dincoy, the repositioning expert. You can click on her website in the comments section. It is on the screen here, the repositioner.com. I guess my next question to you is, what's the best way to stand out as a business?
So when you were just saying, you don't have to be different, you just have to be simple. Well, the simplest way to be different is something called super niching. So what it is really picking one industry or interest group to focus on as a target, and then picking just one very specific facet of their pain. So if you think about their pain as a diamond, just pick one facet of that diamond. So let's say, like, one of my clients was a leadership coach, and she helped small manufacturing firms, right? And their number one problem in small manufacturing firms was leadership is the big pain, the diamond, but the one facet was they couldn't make decisions. So when you can't make decisions at a manufacturing plant, guess what happens? All the production slows down.
Yeah.
So that's what she became, a decision-making coach. So that's what I mean. You take a big problem and you chunk it down to one tiny, tiny little piece of it, and you own it. Then she wrote, articles about it. She published white papers about it. She did research about how research costs 1.4 billion per manufacturing, industry per decision. So you become an expert in it. And it's really easy in today's day and age to become an expert. You just pump out content around that one pain point to that one industry. And you pick an industry because they self-gather. So you have so many opportunities to hit them in large concentrated groups. And same with if you're B2C, you pick an interest group. So like the health coach that I was speaking to earlier, I said, what would it be like if you were to just focus on, let's say, divorcing women? Or if you were to just, like, my son is on the spectrum of autism. What if you just focused on kids with autism? They self-gather. I have other moms exactly in the same boat as I am that we self-gather over and over and over again. We talk to each other every week. We see each other every week. We share resources like you wouldn't believe. All of my therapists and tutors and coaches for him come from those ladies because I trust them. So what would it be like for her to focus on either those moms because they need to take care of their health, or for the kids because they're so picky? Do you see how super niching is a way to stand out rather than saying, I'm a health coach? Like, everybody's a bloody health coach.
Yeah. Actually, I had that conversation last night with someone who's looking to start a business. And again, they wanted to do, I think I could hit everything. And by the time we were done our conversation, it was down to a little niche market to focus on that I think they would be successful in. And after, if you're successful in that niche market and you have shown that it is a viable business and you're making money and you're able to, well, you know what, then you can slowly expand out and take on the world, so to say.
Yeah. I mean, one of the best examples that I heard, but this is the thing, she fell into this niche, was a heart surgeon. And I don't know if you've ever, God forbid, known anyone who's had heart surgery, but those surgeons, sometimes they have to wear diapers because they can't leave the surgery, right? Because it takes like 10 hours.
Yeah.
So she found that she was putting on so much weight because they don't have the time to food prep or to eat nutritiously or to exercise. So then she made it her mission to lose weight. She lost so much weight. She got on whatever she did, that all of a sudden, all these other female surgeons started to ask her, "What are you doing? Can you please teach us?" So she created a program just so she wouldn't have to talk to them anymore because she didn't have time. So to teach them, and she became a millionaire just from selling that online program. Now, how specific is it to teach brain surgeons, female brain surgeons, how to lose weight, right? In a busy. So that's what I'm saying is like, that is such a specific niche, and she made such a huge amount of dollars. Like what you're saying is when you focus, you grow. Now she fell into it, but what I help to do is to figure that out with a process. That's what I sell, is how do you figure out that missing market gap in your business that you can fill, like be the Swiffer in the market, and then how do you make money from it?
No, very, very good. I mean, obviously that's great. And I mean, I haven't talked about COVID or anything for a while, but I'd like to kind of maybe talk about the elevator pitching and COVID, and how maybe we can focus on, or how some companies that, coming out of this, what's going to be the hardest thing after COVID for small businesses to do.
Well, I do a lot of speaking for groups, like CEO groups, and education for my own people, like for like small businesses. Yeah. And there's one thing in common after COVID, is that their problem is, for about a third of them, I'm not going to say everyone, mostly everybody's problem is we don't have enough leads in the funnel. We just don't have enough leads. But for a third of them, it's that they've had to completely pivot during COVID.
Yeah.
And they're still not sure how to do that. So the process of figuring out the gap in the market, once you learn that process, you can implement it over and over. So then COVID happens and the market changes. And this is a conversation I just had with my social sellers in the Philippines. And she's saying that the people who were qualified in a Facebook group, qualified leads before COVID, they were buying like hotcakes. Guess what? After COVID, they're no longer buying, and they're not qualified for that group. I'm not saying that that's true for everyone. Yeah. But it's changed so much that your market could have changed. So once you figure out how to find that market gap, no matter what's happening in the world, you go out and ask people in the same structured, strategic way, you're going to find out the answer. Whether it's pre-COVID, post-COVID, 6 months post-COVID, 6 years post-COVID, it's going to continue to change. I don't think we've seen all the changes that are going to happen yet. Do you?
No, absolutely not. No. And I mean, I've talked to well over 300 businesses in the last 6 or 7 months. And I mean, yeah, COVID has affected some of them. There's no doubt about it. Some of them have thrived, but some of them have actually, when you mentioned it, pivoted their business, but made it much better. They started doing things that they should have been doing a long time ago, and they're doing it now. Whether that be, some of them moved to e-commerce, and it doesn't have to be competing against Amazons and the Walmarts of the world. It's creating an e-commerce site that you have to give a password to, just to the clients that you need, that can generate some extra revenue. So you've seen people do things, and I hate to say this because they had to, but which has made their business actually better for them and more profitable.
Yeah. I have learned such a needed new skill, and I was awake to it before COVID, but now I'm like, I've been kicked into it. And what it is how to connect with high-level clients online. I had no idea. I used to walk into conferences that they had to pay thousands of dollars to attend, to get, to bring their teams to, and they were already like a baked, amazing target. Like they're just sitting there waiting for me to speak and just take their money. Like they were just completely ready for me and pre-qualified. That's gone, right? So I had to completely figure out, how do I reach these people? And it's 100% possible, because I just, on Friday, I popped a champagne. I got my biggest client of 2020.
Nice.
And it's November, Jade. You know, like, how do I feel about that? I don't know. But it was a champagne moment. But what it's telling me is it's starting to happen now. It's starting to happen now.
No, absolutely. And thanks for the comment, Deborah. And I believe that for anybody that wants to learn more, just head to Chala's website. It's on the comment section. Click on it. It will take you directly there. I guess so. I mean, obviously, for someone like yourself, I mean, you went through it. We've gone through the COVID as well. We've been able to adapt. Even all of our peer guidance people, their businesses have been affected. So what's next for you?
Well, I'm continuing to improve what I'm offering online. So a lot of like live stuff, right? Like what you're doing, what I'm doing. People just don't want to see slides anymore. They don't want this barrier. There's enough barriers, right? Like we can't be in person, but that old methodology is gone. Those thousands of funnels and thousands of different technology in between you and me. Instead, it's using the technology to connect closer to people with just, your phone or just on your laptop, and to be able to give them value and serve and serve and serve. So the next things for me are really always teaching about the super niche. I teach about the super niche to startups like you, and then I teach it to billion-dollar businesses, which I'll be doing like this month and next month. So it makes no difference, you guys. They're all in pursuit of the same thing. Everybody is, So Deborah's asking for tips for connecting with people online. Yes, absolutely. First of all, get really clear with your super niche so that you have exactly who to target, and they are already gathering in their own self-gathering in their groups, so that you can go through those channels. And then the next part is know exactly the value that you offer and the problem that you solve, and invite them to things that are free like this to talk about those things. Invite them one-on-one to hop on a Zoom call to talk about those things. But basically, whatever you used to do face-to-face in terms of networking, you're now doing online in those DM boxes, like inboxes, direct mail, direct messaging. That's how the conversation goes now. So that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. I have a whole team that's doing it. I have one in Bangladesh and one in the Philippines. It's been quite international, Jade. I'm like having meetings like 9 p.m. and then early, I'm getting messages at 6 a.m. So it's been quite the journey, but what a learning curve, and it will never go back for me. I mean, like if I'm invited now in Vegas, I don't know if you know this, but they're having conferences. People are speaking. It's like business as usual in Vegas. Nothing is closed. So, will I ever go back to that? I don't know. I think it's going to be a while though.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole new conversation, right? How the speaker industry has been. I know quite a few speakers like yourself and Eric and Tom, and they've all been affected. That it's moved online. There's no big talking to 5,000-6,000 people at a conference, and I truly believe it'll come back eventually, and we will get there. So. It is great. And thank you for that question, Deborah. And I know Chala answered it perfectly as usual. So we appreciate it. Thanks for watching the show. So I guess, you gave away a really good tip there already. So I don't want you to use that one. But if you had one piece of advice for a small business startup entrepreneur, getting their, pitch ready, what would it be?
Talk about them first. Talk about the client, the prospect first. Stop talking about yourself. Your elevator pitch is not about you, contrary to what most people are taught. It's really about their pain and how you can help that pain. That's all it is. Just talk about them. I can't tell you how many giant corporations that were suppliers of mine when I worked at all these big corporations would come and pitch. And I sat through almost gave birth through a 3-hour presentation that they didn't once talk about my brand or my brand problem. All they talked about was their product, services, what benefits and advantages that they provided for other clients that had absolutely nothing to do with my budget, my industry, or my brand problem. They had done zero homework and didn't care and didn't even know. And they were one of the largest corrugate manufacturers in Canada. And that's like the biggest nightmare. I almost literally gave birth because I was just so frustrated. And I had taken my heavily pregnant self to their meeting with all of their like huge VPs of sales, and you know, the C-suite was there because it was a big account. I mean, I worked for some big companies, but they failed. They failed, and I couldn't leave. I was like a captive, a sales presentation captive. So I always talk about that, because stop talking about yourself. In 30 seconds when you first meet them, or in 30 hours of all of your engagement with them, or 3 hours like I had, it doesn't matter. The first thing I teach to my clients is, in any sales meeting, you stop talking about yourself. Right?
Oh.
It's all about them.
The best advice I've ever heard, right? Just listen. I mean, and we talk about it all the time, and it's amazing how many calls I go into, and it's fine, because I don't need, and I usually don't do a lot of the talking, because I am doing most of the listening. But I mean, the amount of information you can get, and people love to talk about it, love to talk about their business, and before you know it, they've already created the problem that you need to solve, and told you everything about it. And then it's like, oh, okay, this is great. We should set up a coffee.
And they think they're such a great conversationalist.
I know. I love it. I'm like, woo, it's perfect. Oh, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge and those examples today with our listeners. I can't thank you enough. It's such a important part, and it's something, in my opinion, that people forget about. And when they're creating their business, or even halfway through, they're thinking that they have to redefine absolutely everything, when they really don't. And they just have to kind of get to that laser focus and find something that they're good on, and then become successful at it. So having you here, telling us about it, sharing stories about it is wonderful. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. This is so much fun. You're so Canadian. Like I don't usually talk to any Canadians during my business at all. Like all the podcast hosts, my guests, my clients, they're all in the US, right?
Yeah.
So it's such a different vibe.
No, it's good. It's fun, right? It's kind of just like a little conversation that you and I would have at a coffee shop. That's what we're looking for.
You're like the prototype for the laid back Canadian.
Exactly. That's what we want, right?
So funny.
Excellent. Well, Chala, thank you very much. And thanks everybody for watching, and have a great Wednesday, and don't slip on the snow out there. It's probably going to be a little icy.
Snow?
Yeah, we got a little bit of snow last night.
Oh my God. Oh.
It's going to be gone by later. Looking at maybe the roads won't be icy. You're just going to have
to. Oh my God, dude, don't say that. Don't even say the word snow. I'm in Toronto. My God. I thought it was cold.
I'll be golfing tomorrow. It'll be gone.
Okay, good. All right. Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.